As the camera glides into the room, soft morning light spills across neutral walls washed in gentle cream, revealing delicate Laura Ashley florals cascading over armchairs and curtains in a whisper of romance and restraint. The space feels like a tender pause in time, where every petal and pattern quietly invites you closer, asking you to breathe slower and notice the poetry of the details. If this kind of gentle, nostalgic beauty speaks to your soul, remember to subscribe, like, and share your own decor dreams in the. From a wide perspective, the living room unfolds like a classic English painting, with soft beige sofas, pale truffle tones, and floral cushions arranged in graceful symmetry that instantly calms the eye and centers the heart. You sense the quiet confidence of Laura Ashley's world, where nothing shouts yet everything feels intentional, collected over time, and deeply lived in, like chapters of a well-loved story layered into the architecture. As you watch, let us know in the comments which corner captures your imagination first, and do not forget to tap like so more vintage souls can find this space. As the shot widens further, revealing archways, polished wood floors, and curated vignettes framed by botanical prints, the room feels both grounded and airy, anchored in tradition yet open to new memories. The hybrid of cottage softness and British elegance settles into a gentle equilibrium, with every neutral backdrop allowing the florals and textures to breathe, creating a home that feels serene, cinematic, and endlessly welcoming. If you are ready for more timeless Laura Ashley inspiration, make sure you subscribe and turn on the notifications so you never miss a new decor story. The room unfolds in a symphony of quiet color, where walls in warm ivory and soft greige form a serene canvas that lets every floral and texture sing without competing. Pale stone, gentle taupe, and barely there blush create a cocoon of calm, grounding the space in timeless neutrality while allowing light to dance across surfaces like a soft, living presence. This is the first secret of the Laura Ashley look, a neutral base that feels neither cold nor dull, but deeply comforting, like the pages of a well-loved novel. From a wide architectural angle, the eye travels across the space, noticing how the neutral palette wraps around windows, arches, and built-in shelves, unifying the room into one harmonious whole. Furniture in warm woods and upholstery in muted creams and gentle grays sit effortlessly together, each piece chosen for its quiet elegance rather than loud statement. The result is a home that feels collected, not staged, where every tone supports the next in a gentle rhythm of British country grace. Even in shadow, the palette retains its warmth, with subtle undertones of wheat, oat, and soft clay adding depth without heaviness. These are the colors of old linen, sun-faded curtains, and weathered stone, chosen to age beautifully and feel at home in any season. By anchoring the room in this soft, neutral foundation, the florals and details that follow can shine with quiet confidence, never overwhelming but always inviting. From a sweeping view of the room, the florals reveal themselves slowly, not as loud statements but as soft refrains repeated across curtains, cushions, and upholstery. Petite roses, trailing vines, and delicate blossoms drift over fabrics in washed pinks, soft blues, and sage greens, echoing the feeling of an English garden just beyond the window. The effect is tender and immersive, turning the space into a living bouquet that feels romantic yet refined, never cloying, always gracefully composed. As the camera glides across the space, entire walls feel wrapped in storybook charm, with classic Laura Ashley prints climbing gently upward like ivy on an old stone cottage. Wide shots capture how these patterns are carefully placed, balanced by stretches of neutral wall, solid furniture, and open floor, to keep the room breathing. The florals become lyrical notes within the architecture, softening edges, framing views, and adding a whisper of nostalgia to every corner you pass. In the distance, matching motifs appear in unexpected places. A lampshade here, a framed fabric panel there, creating quiet echoes that connect one side of the room to the other. The patterns are scaled thoughtfully, bolder blooms on feature pieces, finer prints on accent textiles, ensuring variety without chaos. This orchestration of florals, large and small, turns the home into a gentle sanctuary where every blossom feels intentional, anchored by classic British charm. From a wide architectural perspective, the room is anchored by furniture that speaks of generations. A curved arm sofa in soft cream, a carved wooden sideboard, and a wingback chair with gently rolled arms, all arranged in a balanced, inviting composition. These are not trendy pieces, but classics that feel at home in a country cottage or a Georgian townhouse, their proportions generous yet refined, their lines soft and welcoming rather than sharp or cold. They form the quiet backbone of the Laura Ashley look, furniture that ages with grace, not fashion. As the camera pulls back, the silhouettes create a rhythm across the space. The rounded back of a love seat, the turned legs of a coffee table, the gentle curve of a console beneath a mirror. Each piece is chosen for its traditional charm and comfortable scale, never overwhelming the room but always giving it presence and soul. The effect is a room that feels lived in and generous, where every chair invites you to sit, linger, and lose yourself in a book or a quiet conversation. Seen from a doorway or corner, the furniture forms a harmonious family, with similar woods, soft upholstery, and a shared sense of proportion that ties the room together. Upholstery is in neutral tones or subtle florals, allowing the shapes themselves to shine, while wooden pieces in warm oak or painted finishes add texture and history. This is the heart of British elegance, classic silhouettes that never shout, but quietly declare that comfort and beauty belong together. From a wide shot, the room reveals its richness not in color, but in texture. A thick wool rug underfoot, linen curtains gently gathered at the window, and a knitted throw casually draped over the back of a sofa. These layers are carefully chosen, each with its own hand, its own story, so that the space feels deeply tactile, as if every surface invites a touch, a pause, a moment of quiet comfort. This is the secret of Laura Ashley's warmth, a home that feels lived in, not just beautiful. As the camera glides across the space, the eye catches the contrast between smooth painted wood, nubby woven baskets, and the soft pile of a vintage rug, all working together to create visual interest without clutter. Upholstery in cotton, linen, and chenille sits beside ceramic lamps, brass details, and glass vases, each material adding its own quiet note to the overall harmony. The result is a room that feels grounded and rich, where every texture supports the next in a gentle, layered rhythm. Seen from a corner or doorway, the layers unfold like a well-edited story. A velvet cushion here, a lace runner there, a wooden tray holding books and candles, all arranged with a sense of ease rather than perfection. Nothing feels forced. Instead, the textures build a sense of history and comfort, turning the room into a sanctuary where you can truly relax. This is the heart of the Laura Ashley look, elegance that feels soft, warm, and deeply human. From a wide architectural view, the room feels calm and collected, even with multiple patterns, because each print is chosen to harmonize rather than compete. A large floral on the sofa is echoed in a smaller scale on cushions, while a stripe on a chair or a subtle check on a rug adds rhythm without chaos. The effect is a space that feels curated and intentional, where every pattern has its place and purpose, creating a sense of order and quiet luxury. As the camera glides across the space, the eye is guided by a careful balance of scale and color: bold florals on key pieces, delicate prints on accents, and solid neutrals in between to give the eye places to rest. Wallpaper, curtains, and upholstery work together like movements in a piece of music, each pattern building on the last while staying within the same gentle palette. This is the Laura Ashley way: pattern that feels romantic, not overwhelming, always anchored in soft, timeless tones. Seen from a doorway or corner, the patterns create a sense of continuity, with matching or complementary motifs linking one side of the room to the other. A floral on a curtain repeats in a lampshade, a stripe on a chair ties into a rug, and solid wood and neutral walls keep everything grounded. The result is a home that feels cohesive and serene, where pattern becomes a quiet language of comfort and charm. From a wide architectural shot, the room feels flooded with soft, natural light, as if the sun itself has been invited in to linger and warm every surface. Tall windows dressed in sheer linen curtains filter the daylight into a gentle, diffused glow, turning walls and floors into luminous plains that feel open and calm. This is the heart of the Laura Ashley atmosphere, a space that feels light, airy, and effortlessly serene, where shadows are soft and the air feels still. As the camera glides across the space, the light reveals the subtle textures of fabric, wood, and paper, highlighting the delicate details of florals, trims, and carvings without harsh contrast. The room breathes with open sightlines from window to window and from one archway to the next, creating a sense of flow and spaciousness even in a modest footprint. This is not a bright clinical space, but a softly lit sanctuary that feels both elegant and deeply comforting. Seen from a corner or doorway, the interplay of light and shadow adds depth and dimension, with sunbeams tracing across rugs, furniture, and shelves, and the pale palette reflecting the changing quality of daylight throughout the day. The effect is a home that feels alive with natural rhythm, where every hour brings a new mood, yet the overall feeling remains one of quiet, timeless grace. From a wide architectural perspective, the room is defined by small, thoughtful details that whisper of British country charm: a carved wooden mantel, a brass sconce with a fabric shade, and a collection of vintage books neatly arranged on a low shelf. These are not grand gestures, but quiet refinements that accumulate into a sense of history and care, turning the space into a home that feels both elegant and deeply personal. As the camera glides across the space, the eye catches the rhythm of traditional details: a turned leg on a table, a scalloped edge on a cushion, a framed botanical print above a console, each chosen to echo the Laura Ashley spirit of understated luxury. These elements are never overwhelming. Instead, they are scattered like gentle reminders of a slower, more considered way of living, where beauty is found in the details, not the spectacle. Seen from a doorway or corner, the British details create a sense of continuity and cohesion, linking one piece to the next through shared materials, proportions, and a common language of classic design. The result is a room that feels collected over time, where every object has its place and purpose, and the overall effect is one of timeless, quiet refinement. From a wide architectural shot, the room reveals its intimate corners: a window seat piled with floral cushions, a small armchair beside a reading lamp, and a side table holding a cup of tea and a well-thumbed book. These are the spaces designed for lingering, where the scale feels human and the atmosphere deeply comforting, like a quiet embrace after a long day. As the camera glides toward one of these nooks, the details come into focus: a soft throw, a ceramic lamp, a stack of vintage novels, and a vase with a single sprig of greenery, all arranged with a sense of ease rather than perfection. The lighting is warm and focused, creating a pool of golden light that invites you to sit, read, and lose yourself in the moment, turning the corner into a personal sanctuary. Seen from a doorway or across the room, these cozy corners feel like little worlds within the larger space, each with its own mood and purpose. They are not grand statements, but quiet invitations to slow down, breathe, and enjoy the simple pleasures of home. This is the soul of the Laura Ashley look: elegance that feels warm, intimate, and deeply lived in. From a wide architectural shot, the room feels both classic and quietly contemporary, where traditional Laura Ashley elements are gently balanced with clean lines and modern simplicity. A vintage floral armchair sits beside a sleek side table, a classic wingback is paired with a minimalist floor lamp, and ornate picture frames share the wall with a single, large abstract canvas. This is the secret of a timeless look: honoring the past while allowing space for the present, so the home feels collected, not frozen in time. As the camera glides across the space, the eye notices how modern pieces are chosen for their quiet elegance rather than bold statements: simple shapes, neutral finishes, and restrained details that support, not compete with, the florals and textures. A glass-topped coffee table, a slim console in pale wood, and a few carefully placed metallic accents add a touch of freshness without breaking the soft, romantic mood. The result is a room that feels both nostalgic and current, like a beloved story with a new chapter. Seen from a doorway or corner, the balance becomes even clearer. Traditional patterns and silhouettes are framed by open sightlines, uncluttered surfaces, and a sense of visual calm that feels very modern. There are no jarring contrasts, only a gentle dialogue between old and new, where each piece has room to breathe and the overall effect is one of serene, effortless harmony. This is how Laura Ashley's style stays relevant: by embracing change with grace. From a wide architectural perspective, the room feels deeply personal, where every object tells a quiet story: a stack of vintage books with worn spines, a framed photograph in a simple wooden frame, and a collection of heirloom ceramics arranged on a low shelf. These are not just decorative items, but fragments of a life well lived, carefully placed so the space feels like a home, not a showroom. This is the heart of Laura Ashley's soul, beauty that feels intimate and real. As the camera glides across the space, the eye is drawn to small, meaningful vignettes: a teacup on a saucer, a handwritten note tucked beside a candle, a well-loved quilt folded over a chair. Each detail is chosen for its emotional resonance rather than perfection, creating a sense of warmth and authenticity that invites you to linger and connect. The florals and patterns become the backdrop for these personal moments, turning the room into a living scrapbook of memories. Seen from a doorway or corner, the styling feels effortless and unhurried, with a few well-chosen objects grouped in a way that feels natural, not staged. There is space around each piece, allowing it to breathe and be noticed, and a sense that nothing is there just to impress. This is how Laura Ashley's style becomes truly timeless, by celebrating the quiet beauty of everyday life, where every corner holds a story worth telling. As the camera pulls back into a final wide architectural shot, the entire room comes together as a single harmonious composition. Soft florals, neutral tones, classic silhouettes, and personal details all woven into a space that feels both elegant and deeply comforting. Light still spills gently across the floor, the textures glow in the late afternoon glow, and the air feels still, as if the home itself is breathing in quiet contentment. If this vision of timeless Laura Ashley style speaks to the soul of your home, please subscribe so we can keep sharing more vintage-inspired stories together. From this final perspective, the room feels like a place where seasons change but the essence remains, a sanctuary of softness, grace, and quiet beauty that never goes out of fashion. Every choice, from the palette to the patterns, from the furniture to the little details, feels intentional yet effortless, creating a home that is both beautiful to look at and deeply restful to live in. If this kind of classic, soulful design resonates, give this video a like and let us know in the comments what part of the Laura Ashley look you would bring into your own space. As the light begins to fade and the scene softens into a gentle close, the message is clear. A Laura Ashley-inspired home is not about perfection, but about creating a place that feels warm, nostalgic, and full of soul. It is a home that welcomes, comforts, and tells a story with every petal, every texture, every quiet corner. If you enjoyed this journey into timeless style, remember to subscribe, like, and share your thoughts below, because every comment helps more vintage-loving souls find this channel.